a lot to do with your discipline and your psychology when you're coming to charts as a trader, right? Number one thing, you have a solid trading plan. Okay, perfect. You have this plan and you know that this plan is going to win and you're following this plan every day, right? Now, when you're following this plan and you know, like, you know what, I'm following this plan, why am I still failing? I've heard this from a lot of people. Hey man, I follow my plan, but I'm still failing. What they don't know is that you're maybe not following your entire plan. Right? How many guys here who have a very, very profitable plan? That you know your plan is highly profitable only if you follow it. Only if you follow it. You know, if you don't follow it, you will fail. Even if you don't follow even just a little part of that plan, you're going to fail. And you always do fail. Right? If your plan says you're going to take 1 trade a day and you take 3 trades, you're going to fail. If your plan says that you're going to risk 5% a day and you don't risk 5%, you're going to fail. Every time. It's going to happen every time. Every time, like I have so many people, they message me at the end of a trading day and say, hey man, I lost X percentage. And I ask them, why'd you lose X percentage? Did you follow your plan? No, I didn't follow my plan. But I saw price was at support. So, you know, like Wicks Don't Lie says buy support. Well, you didn't follow your plan, right? Because Wicks Don't Lie says buy support. It's going to make you profits, but it won't because you're not following your plan. You're not following the rules you have for yourself. You're letting that crazy lion which you have in you to step out and destroy you. You have to contain that animal, right? The only time you should be going full on bars is when you are following your plan. When your plan says, oh, hey, like, you know what? This is the setup I've seen and I'm going to take this setup because this is according to my plan. And win or a loss, that's your plan, right? If you lose a trade, it's a lesson, right? We go over it. I'm going to go over how to assess losses, how to learn from losses here in the slide, like later on. But for now, we're going to focus on like, you know, like what really moves you to take a trade. You need to, yeah, that voice. Yeah, it's a Rakil voice. Okay. So why are you hesitant to take the trade? Is it because you're afraid you're going to fail? Is it because you're afraid just because you're afraid? Or is it because it's not your time to trade, right? Like, why are people so hesitant to trade, right? I know why. I'll tell you why. The reason it happens is that when you come into, okay, so I'm just going to be very, very general, right? Like, I'm not going to try to brag about it, but it may seem, yeah, exactly, right side life, because of losses, right? Because when you come into the Forex family, you will see that everyone is going to hit your head with a hammer of like, hey, make a trading plan. Because when you make a trading plan, you're protecting yourself from loss. So now when you're coming outside from learning all these systems, jumping from mentors to mentors, or you're coming from learning all these strategies, you have a history of losses. You maybe have a history of blown accounts. You have a history of like blown, like, you know, like money which you borrowed. You have those history of losses, and that history of losses is going to determine what type of a trader you're going to be. Either you're going to bounce back, or are you going to keep doing those stupid shit you've been doing for all those years? Right? So all those losses are going to prevent you from following your plan because now you have a habit of losing. Right? Like the only reason you can step away. Now, I know it's true for 70% of the people here that the only reason they will close the charts is because they can't take the loss anymore. Tell me if that's true. That's the only reason you close the charts is because you've taken enough losses for the day and you say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm going to close the charts. I've lost a lot today. Tell me if it's true. I know it's true. Happened to me, happens to everybody. It's very, very true, right? You take trades and you took 10 losses, you've lost 20%, 30% of your account. And then you say, you know what? My trading day is done today. I lost more than I had to lose. Right? No, this is Raja Banks. Rakil has gone to get me coffee. He's not going to be here till it's break time. Right? So what's something that you don't do? Like when you win a trade, how come when you win a trade you never close the charts? Tell me. How come that's the case all the time? Like when you win a trade, you never close the charts. You never close the charts. You only close the charts when you take those fucking losses and you're like, you know what, I'm a bad trader. You know, trading is not for me. You know, Forex is a myth. You can never make money. Fuck, man, you made money half an hour ago from that one trade and then you blew it all away. And now you're closing the charts. That's what's going to make you hesitant to take the trade. Right? So make this a habit. When you win a trade, walk away from the charts. Actually, you know what? I'm going to write this in my plan. When I win a trade, walk away from the charts like a winner. That's what you need to do. When you win a trade, you need to walk away. And that's one rule which you have set for yourself to protect yourself. Let's look at the next thing. Why? Why does this happen? Why do people always win on demo and on small lots? Why? I'll tell you exactly why it happens. You always win on demo because you always follow your plan on demo. You always follow your plan on demo. Because on demo or on small lots, you can always post a chart and say, hey guys, look, price did a retest. I entered the retest and I won. Look at this trade I won. But when you switch to your live, you start to see all these different things. And then you make these stupid mistakes and you can't win because you're not following that plan. You have all these emotions. Now, why do you have emotions? Because maybe you're risking too much, or you're not comfortable, or you're looking at the wrong pair. Like that's the number one thing. You're looking at the fucking USD ZAR, right? If you're used to trading USD JPY, and if the guy next to you is trading USD ZAR and he says, hey man, this moves a lot, just take a trade, you're going to win tons of money. Of course, but you can lose fuck tons of money too. Because now, number one, you've broken your plan. Okay, how many guys here have switched to another currency pair just because someone told them to and they lost? Everybody. Everybody. That's happened to everybody here. I guarantee you, it's happened to everybody here. Right? So why? Number one, you broke your plan because now you're looking at another pair. Number two, you broke your plan again by taking a trade on something you don't know. Right? So why do that? Right? So, okay, let me tell you guys this one thing, right? I believe that currency pairs are like people, right? Currency pairs are like people. Now, when you meet a new person, right? Let's say you know John Smith from your work, right? So now you see John Smith every day from 9 to 5, right? So from 9 to 5, you know what time John Smith takes his lunch, what time, like how does he act in the morning, how is his mood at lunchtime, how is his mood when the day over. So you know a lot about John Smith during that time, but you don't know what John Smith does when he goes home or when he's about to go to bed, or what's the first thing he does when he wakes up. You don't know that, right? So when you want to talk to John Smith or when you want to socialize with him, you're going to socialize with him based on the things you know, what you see, right? Currency pairs, the same exact thing, guys. It's the same exact thing, right? When you focus on, let's say, USDJPY, and you know, I'm going to focus on USDJPY from 6 to 9 a.m. It's, believe me, right? It's going to do the same thing from 6 to 9 every fucking day. The same thing is going to do that, man. The same thing. No one out there is going to tell you to focus on one pair at the same time every day. No one says that because it's true. It works. It's worked. There's so many examples out there. So many people have done it, right? But it may sound stupid, but it works. If you just focus on USD/JPY from 6 to 9 every day for 2 months, tell me this one thing. Will you not be able to catch small moves? For 1 month, if you focus on one pair at the same time every day, tell me this honestly. Will you not be able to predict the way it moves? Right? Now imagine after 2-3 months, you can wake up and say, hey, like, you know what? I'm going to start, I've looked at USD/JPY from 6 to 9 every day for the past 2 months. It's just another day in the park. Just have to wake up, take one trade on USD/JPY, done for the day. How awesome that's going to be. Tell me. It's going to be a wonderful feeling, right? Now, when we trade Asians, Hashan, we've been trading Asian session for the past 2 years, every day, nonstop, right? And it's easy now. Like, we look at Asian, we see, okay, either there's going to be a breakout or there's going to be a continuation, easy setup. We take that one trade, done. One trade. Why? Because we've spent that time watching that one pair during that specific time every day, and it becomes a habit, right? It's like dealing with people. You get to know how they're going to act, right? You get to know what they are really like during that time. And trust me, currency pairs are the same exact thing. Yeah, exactly. You got to back test your session. There's Alex D for you. This was the funniest point ever, right? Like, when you start losing, this is what you think. The market is out there to fuck me. The market knows how to screw with you, right? Market doesn't know how to screw with you. Like, you know what's funny when people say that that the brokers, they know your stop levels. Of course, the brokers know where your stops are. The brokers know that for sure. The brokers know where your stops are, where your take profits are. But what if you don't use a stop loss? I know some guys who don't use stop losses and they just manually close. What if you just manually closing? What if everyone starts to manually close? Do brokers know where you're going to close? Can brokers know where your stop loss is? No, they don't. Why? Because the market is going to do what it's going to do. Oh yeah, you're going to have a flash crash for sure. You get fucked that way. But the market is still going to do what it's going to do, right? Because you have to understand the market flows in complete harmony. When you look at candles, you will see candles have wicks. And when you see candles with no wicks, you know that that candle will make a wick. And it does make a wick. Why? Because the chart cosmetics have to be maintained, right? And when you are in complete harmony with the market, when you know that you're following your plan, you have rules set down, the market cannot fuck you because you're following your plan. If you follow your plan, you take one loss for the day and your plan says, okay, you know what, Michael, now come back, or Debbie or Samantha, we're going to come back the next day and we're going to try it again. And you try it again. And again and again and again, and slowly it starts to make sense. I have this one guy in my group. He joined me, and he was struggling so much, man. He was struggling a lot. He said, man, you know, I've been trying for 3 years. I can't make it work, this and that. So I changed his name to Jordan Struggle. You know, it's a true story. He doesn't know that's his name, but that's what I changed his name to, Jordan Struggle. Because so I told him, hey man, just take one trade a day between a certain time. And that's what he did. For the first 2 weeks, he had maybe like, first 2 weeks, he had, I think, 6 losses, 4 wins. Third week, he had more wins than losses. This past week, he's had 2 losses and 5 wins. All it took was time. He knows the market is there to fuck him. But the only way he can make sure that doesn't happen is when he can just bag his profits and he continues to do the same thing every day, because it works. It sounds very stupid. It sounds very cliche. Like I know some people who have a lot of knowledge and they might say like, you know what, this is fucking stupid. You can just swing. For sure, you can swing, but you have a plan too when you're swinging, right? You can't just swing for a fucking 300 pip drawdown. You have a plan, right? And when you put time in your psychology, in your trading plan, in the time in market, it's going to work out. I say it takes 2 months, 2 to 3 months to see the things you want to see, right? Not the things you need to see, but what you want to see. They start happening. And that's how we build a wall of discipline, right? The wall of discipline should be so thick that whatever happens, you know your system works. You need to have that undying belief that your system, which you have mapped out for yourself, it's going to work. If it's not working today, that's okay. It's not perfect. That's why you have training wheels on bicycles, because you can't ride a bicycle with 2 wheels from the get-go. No, you have training wheels, right? And man, I know, like, I had training wheels on my bicycle and I still used to fall off it. But I knew it's going to work. Like when you have babies, what do babies do? They try whatever they can to see if they can walk. Right? They do whatever it takes, but they know it takes time. Right? So the time is all what it takes. When you can find these consistencies in market, when you can find these small anomalies which you can exploit every day, right? So that's going to build up your discipline. So what we're going to do is now we're going to take a short break. If you have any notes, please expand on those notes. I'm going to expand on some of my notes here too, and I'm going to share these notes with you at the end of the webinar. And so this break is going to be a 10-minute break. After we come back from the break, we'll have some guest speakers here. I know Alex is going to be saying a few words. I know Alex Hill is going to be saying a few words there. We have Ted here as well, Brian here as well. Ted's here as well. So we're going to come back after 10 minutes and we're going to continue the next part. I would play some music, but there are some copyright issues, so I can't play any music. Sorry.